strong is you are not going to judge this any mind, the thought that's arising. You are not going to judge any thought, meaning you are not going to say it's a good thought. Oh, I like this good thought. Or you're not going to judge it's a bad thought. Oh, I don't like this thought. So you are just going to be observing. Like, for example, imagine yourself sitting bank of river, next to the river, and your thoughts being like a river. And so you are just an observer, because there is a many thoughts will come and go and come and go. So for a moment, let's do that one. Just try to observe and not try to interact or not try to judge. Just keep your focus in your breathing. And first thing, when you are breathing and when you find a little bit of center from your heart, from deep from your heart, let's be thankful for our parents, our mother, our father of this life, because they are our first teacher in this world. Deeply, let's be thankful. And if your mind wanders a little too much, try to little breathing, little strongly, deep inhalation and exhalation. But you are not going to try to judge any thoughts, any mind, just observer. After from your heart, when we are thankful to our parents, let's be thankful for the elements like a fire, water, earth, wind, and the space. Everything around you is the element. So let's from your heart, let's be thankful, take gratitude. All the food that we're eating, all the air, the water from the mountain, from everywhere, spring water. Let's be thankful for all the elements. I'm sure there's many thoughts will come and go, but you are not judging. You are not attached to the nice thought, nor you are having hard time of the thoughts that you don't like, whether it's a past history, drama. There might be a lot of things in our life. Many things happen in the past, and our mind is keep wanting to be in the future. So for a moment, just be observer and do not force to be in the present moment, because there is also no present, because everything is in the moving. And try to feel every cell in your body. Try to feel, just feel. And there is a saying that the best healer, the best doctor is within yourself. So while you are doing meditating, you're also putting energy, healing to all these different parts of the body that we have. Maybe your back is pain, your head is pain, or hand, or anything. Try to put the energy in a different part. Remember that ultimately the answer that you are looking, the guru that you are looking, the God that you are looking is within yourself. So allow this meditation practice to go inside yourself with the attitude of gratitude. Thanking for our parents, for their kindness, and to the mother nature for the nourishment to growth of this life. And now everybody putting our hand in our namaste posture, namaste gesture. From our heart, let's be grateful for all the tradition, the teachers, the guru of all the traditions in the world that is helping sentient beings to walk on the path of awakening. And by saying that from our heart, let's imagine that this collective meditation practice that we did or we're doing, imagine this to be a rays, a light, and that is covering all over the earth. And from the earth is going to every corner in the world. Let's dedicate this merit, this practice that we did all together for all the sentient beings, all the visible and invisible, to the animals, the human being, of this world and other world and many world. Let's dedicate that may everyone in the world find the path of the true happiness and the causes of happiness. May every beings in the world be free from the suffering and the causes of suffering. So saying this, let's dedicate this practice for everyone. Okay. This is a short journey that we can all have a little experience.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we actually want to hear something about your journey. As just for 15 minutes, we really felt it so lively and amazing. So much more, we really want to know about your journey and how did this actually happen and an overall message for the people to get it
I
started.
think, yeah, I think, when I was, when I was little, I did wanted to have a, I did wanted to have some, maybe some meditation practice and some spiritual questions.
Right,
But interesting thing is, I didn't really had any, you know, like people that support me on this journey. And so it was really, because, uh, and when you are curious about, because I like to watch the birds and I like to watch the nature and I want to meditate. And
right.
when I talk like this in the age of 12 or 11 years old, I think it becomes little, like little fun. People make little fun out of you. And especially also when you are not like wealthy, because when I was little, my family went through many hardsmanship, many difficulties, and so I had a really difficult period in my life, and family difficult. Then again, life difficult, because when family difficult, and I had a curious about life and all that thing, and people just make a fun out of you and saying like, yeah, yeah. And so it's it's an interesting journey. When I see in the back, I did smoke cigarette and I drink alcohol before, and so I went through that period of time, and but one thing I think I like to share with everyone is, when you are into something new that is not understanding by other, I think the most important thing is to keep doing, no matter whether people understand or not. Because if you are going to explain to the people, there are thousand kind of people, and there are going to be thousand kind of suggestion, or what do you call, abandon and discouragement and something like that. And I mean, I'm sure now I have lots of encouragement friends. I have many friends like, oh, Anil, yes, all that thing. And I think it's true. Like when you have nothing, it's like, people just go a little far away from you. And when you have, when you start have something, and people just, I think, come start. And I think from that moment, one thing I had a determination is like, if I somehow reach into the place where, if I have some, knowledge, or some skill or some wisdom, or some financial support or anything, I think I made a determination that I'm at least going to say good. I'm going to share the good word, good positive thoughts to the people, which I didn't get. And so now, of course, I have many wonderful friends, and even writing book, honoring the land, it almost became like so like easy. It's like when I talk to the authors, like, it's so hard to write and so hard to publish and so hard to all that thing. I feel like it took me almost 7 8 months to write the book, but it just happened so smoothly, because firstly, I never thought I will publish the book, and second, just because I love being in the nature. And so when I'm in the nature, I write, so a couple of pages. Actually, book was a little longer than that, but it became shorter because because when I want to write, I just want to write. And so there's a lot of mistakes and all that thing. And they did caught a lot of things. And but it's nothing, it's something, that's all the author go through. But now I'm in Nepal, back to Nepal from the US. And I think my journey is mostly, it's like, no matter what, I was never separated from the nature. And I think this is what I really want to share with everyone, is the best teacher sometime in your life is going to be nature. And when I say nature, it means it might be waterfall, it might be river, forest, mountain, birds, skies, rain. I mean, this has have been my a great teacher. And of course, to be able to see that thing, you need to have some kind of awareness. But sometimes life works the other way. It's sometimes you see things from your awareness, and sometimes life will show you from the outside. And so there's a beautiful circle of inside and outside. And the place I grew up here in Nepal, it's called the Bhaktapur. There's many temples and many holy people and many things, but I'm not really connected with that kind of spiritual practice where you just go to the temple and you just put the tika and all that thing. But I want to more have a more experiential practice, and I think that's where people a little bit didn't understand me, because they were saying like, oh, you should go to like these things or spiritual after maybe age of 65, or after 70, when you're old and getting old and all that thing. So I think that's what people wanted me to do, is like practice this sort of spiritual when you are 75 or something, you are ready to departure.
Right.
But yeah, but I think somehow I found the track, and being in the nature. And I like to wake up early in the morning, and see that fog and this morning moisture. Morning feels, makes me really alive, and listen the birds. When you wake up in the morning, there's like this bird start, just like all that thing. And and I like the sound of those things, because I feel like that is the part of you. And so um I think in my journey, shortly, I want to just share is went through many different struggles. And but I'm not in that struggle phase anymore. But I'm sure there are many people are in that phase, and I'm hoping that this program or the teaching might benefit whoever is going through the struggle. Especially right now, we're all going through this virus thing. And but also remember, this is also creating a lot of fear. And so you have to really, when you do meditation practice like we did, I think you will find the center. And finding that center, I think you know you'll face, we will all face, and things will go on. And so yeah, saying that, I would like to just have any questions.
Yes,
Questions, yeah,
thank you so much,
just
sir.
shortly, yeah.
Uh, Guys, if you guys have any questions, you can just pose, and we have a limit of 5 questions for the day. So sir is ready to answer any 5 questions. So yep, you can just raise the hand in the chat so that we can enable you to. speak out. Yep. So I think this is a beautiful opportunity for us.
Sohana, can I ask?
Yes, 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 yes. She's my aunt, so
Okay.
she actually has a question.
Okay.
Okay.
My salutations to you. We are very happy that through Sohana we can meet you, such a great Buddha today. We are so happy. I have
Thank
little
you.
bit introduction about this meditation, but meeting such a great Buddha is today is a auspicious day for us. So, can you give some instructions on how to heal our body? Means some sicknesses in the body. Are there
Hmm.
any instructions? We
Yeah.
are doing
So.
some meditations also, but I anapanasati, but I couldn't come out from that because of my menopause and all. So please, can you suggest?
Sir, we cannot hear you.
Oh, okay. Now you can hear my voice.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, I think her question was something I didn't hear it very clearly, but I think her question was something that we did the meditation practice, and something that we did during the meditation is about healing. Um,
Yes, sir. She's
uh,
actually
uh,
asking about how do we heal our physical illness through meditation.
mm,
So, do we get any technique from you?
mm. So, to her, I want to suggest that meditation is probably not only in this time, but it been used thousands of years ago as a very, very secret technique to not only heal the mind and body, but to transcend the consciousness. So, but of course, before we transcend the consciousness, we want to make sure our body is in a good condition. So, um, so how do we heal the body is there are different yoga technique, there are yoga practices, but through the meditation is when you sit, just make sure your back is straight and you are just relaxed, and there is the enormous amount of strength. I think some time ago I shared about the meditation about the power of relaxation. So through the power of relaxation, there is enormous amount of awareness that will come to you, because the wisdom, that's why there is a saying, the Buddha is not outside but inside. So when you continually practice the meditation, the answer will come within from yourself. So the answer will come from within yourself. How do we do it? But you have to continue practice the meditation and allow yourself to listen more. And so that's why the sometimes the lot of mistakes we do is we keep try to search find answer from outside. So this technique that we do, it's of course we need other supports in some ways and other ways, but at the same time there is a saying that the best healer is you are your best healer. You are your best teacher. You are your guru, and you have the question within yourself and you have the answer within yourself. So for your aunt, I would like to suggest continue practice meditation, and just like what we did just recently, continue to do that. The answer will come from within herself.
Yes, sir. Guys,
Thank you.
any questions? Which is the correct time to meditate in the morning or evening time?
Excuse me. So meditation doesn't have any correct time. Okay, I think we have to understand that sometimes we think there is a what you call Brahma Muhurat. They call it in Sanskrit, which means like, okay, wake up 3 o'clock before the sunrise, and maybe that's a good. But I think I don't believe those things, because meditation is whenever you have comfortable, you have a time, but make it continue. Uh, you know, that's why there is this, like, there's a special meditation you can do during the day, there's a meditation you can do during the evening, there's a meditation during you do before my suggestion is not to do only in the morning, but do it 3 times: in the morning, day, and afternoon. So that is the best time of the meditation.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Any other? How to be with the nature and how to mingle with the nature.
Mm. How to mingle with the nature is, I think there was one movie I saw, Indian movie, and the girl got paralysis. And the doctor is like, oh, she's crazy now. And, she's like out of control and she's like crazy. And the doctor is like tiding her in the hand. And, the girl is like shouting. And somehow the guy, the hero, just came um, and took that lady, because the hero was already spending time in the nature. He had this mic that he put in the woods, and he heard the sound of nature. And the girl, the hero just took that lady from, like still that patient from the hospital, and took to the nature. And she spent 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and she's like healed by the sound of the nature and the birds and the wind and all that thing. So how do we mingle is, there is either you want to initiate by yourself, you want to put your effort, your commitment. Okay, I'm going to spend, like I spend every day like 2 hours, 3 hours. That's my commitment. No matter how much, wherever I am, I want to make sure that I spend 2 hours, 3 hours in the nature. And so either you want to make a commitment from yourself, or you have to, like, find some way to just like go once a week, or something. But when you go there, try to also, again, this meditation technique that we did about not judging about your mind, because you have negative and positive thought. So when you go to the nature, try not to like say, oh, this is a nice tree and I don't like this tree because this tree is rotten, and this tree is not looking good, or I like this stone and I don't like that stone. So don't try to make that judgment of attachment and aversion. But when you are in the nature, just try to observe like what you did in the meditation. And I think that's how you can start mingling with the nature.
Thank you, sir. The next question is how to teach meditation to children.
Oh, this is, I think, very, very important, uh, important question. And thank you. And of course every question is important, but I think children especially, because they're our future, that we invest, they're our like a seed. And so I think, because in Nepal what is happening is, people are getting education, and they reach up to the master degree, they graduate. And when they get to the graduate, they have no work to do. They are waiting for sending their resume and bio, and thinking about somebody, you maybe give a job. And this is waiting kind of things, and trying to, you have studied, you spend like 15 years or however long in your education, and then you just wait and somebody give you a job and all that thing. This is, when we teach children those meditation, I think we teach children to listen to themselves truly. And I think the best way to to teach the children meditation is first, I think it's very nice to teach by the parents. That is the most, I think, strong base. And if not, I think making this, I think there's many in the California, some places they do a singing bowl kind of thing with the little children. I like it. I like those kind of, because it gives you little bits of sort of familiarity of being in the the state of, oh, when the bell ring, we breathe, just like that. So and that, I think, and if we can teach children meditation, not with identifying any particular religion, because then we will say, oh, let's teach the Christian meditation, or let's teach the Buddhist meditation. Because that's why I think this very topic, Buddha nature, Buddha conversation, like I said earlier,
Yes.
it's about conversation with yourself. Because Buddhism is not about trying to understand the world, but understanding yourself. You have that enormous strength, quality, potential. And so if we can teach children with, not based on religion kind of meditation, but more like what we call altruistic meditation, being kind to your friend, to your things like that, I think that will help a lot. And I think integrating like that will bring really benefit for the society and for children. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next question is there any eating restrictions for the enlightenment?
Eating or hidden?
Eating restrictions.
Eating.
Yeah, eating.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Is there any hidden instruction? It's like, no, hidden instruction. Okay, so I think in the Tibetan world, they sometimes they call it a ma nam ka da nembe semchen thamse phama magyurpani chikeng me. This is a very special quote that we make our meditation base. And our meditation base is that all the sentient beings in the world, whether it's tiny little ant or the bee or the elephant, or these all sentient beings have been directly, indirectly your mother, your parents. So eating instruction is like try your best to be vegetarian, and do not use any alcohol. And that is the and rest you can enjoy, you know.
Thank you, sir. And I guess this is the last question. How we'll get to know that we have found our inner self or inner Buddha, that we have met the Buddha
Yeah,
in our.
interesting. Yeah, I think so. The question is how do we find if we have find right ourselves at it. I think the interesting thing is when you find yourself, you don't need to know. So, your question there will be no more question, and you will not need to explain to anyone even when you know yourself truly. But before that, it's nice to have question and nice to have curiosity, nice. But once you know yourself, that's why I think they call it omniscient. It's all knowing one, because then the question all dissolve, and you don't need to answer anyone. That's why I think there was somewhere I saw that it says that once a time there was a Zen master went all the way up in the mountain and did meditation, and when he came down he said nothing. you know he lived life, like he lived life by his living itself. Is when you know, then your everything, your life itself becomes you know the answer.
Right. Thank you, sir. But I think we have got two more questions. So,
Okay, yeah, sure.
so the next question is, how do we continue the regular practice of meditation? We face many irregularities in between. So, what makes us to continue?
I think how we regulate how we regularly eat the food, and how why it is so important, because without food we don't survive. And when you and when you have in your mind that, oh, without meditation I will really miss the real opportunity to know myself. When you really have that sort of strong awakening realization, they call it, then the meditation become very regular. But before that, like I used to smoke cigarette, and I used to say every evening, like, okay, tomorrow I will not smoke cigarette, and tomorrow again I smoke. So this like commitment thing also works for a little bit for a certain time. And I mean, now it's been 9-10 years I haven't smoked, but before I used to. And so I think in the beginning you need to make some commitment, that determination, like, okay, maybe at least every day I will do 10 minutes, no matter what time, whether it's after lunch, before lunch, in the evening, or before bed, after, in the morning, whenever. So try to find whatever time that works for you every day. So do it every day, at least for 10 minutes. Doesn't matter whether it's morning, evening, afternoon. After that, you will become regular. And then you will use less effort automatically.
Yes. Thank you, sir. One last question. Do we need to use any tools for the good concentration?
I think it is a very important to have a space, maybe have a cushion or shawl like this. And I use sometime, like a small picture of Buddha.
Right.
I think like like you can say, you know,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So I just put in front of me, and I concentrate. Because we don't close our eyes, because closing eyes is not good meditation practice in Buddhist practice. So you just half open and concentrate. And even if your space is clean, I think it's nice to just have this cleaning sort of practice, so that it represent a discipline. Even your space, I'm sure your space might be really clean and all that, but just try to make sure just a little bit, so you're mental and you're creating the space, let's call it. So
Yes. Thank you so
all
much.
right.
Thanks for being
Right.
here, and your presence was really godly, and we have really learned so many things today. With your journey and the wisdom you have shared was really wonderful. So, guys, we are done with the session, and let us all
Mhm.
thank our guru who has been here for the day. Thank you so much, sir.
You're most
So,
welcome, and everyone best wishes for 21 days and beyond.
yes, sir. Thank you. See you guys from tomorrow. We'll have the introduction class, the same time, 5 to 7.
All
Bye bye.
right.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.